You've decided it's time to switch payroll providers. Great, but how do you actually make the move without breaking anything? By the end of this video, you'll know exactly what to gather, the 5 steps to follow, and the 4 mistakes I see business owners make most often. Hey there, I'm Jenae Taylor, Director of Payroll Services at TMA Accounting and a certified payroll professional. If you haven't decided whether or when to switch yet, I made a separate video on that, links below. But if you're ready to make the move, this one is your step-by-step guide. Let's get into it. Before you start the actual switching process, you'll want to gather some information. The good news is most of it is stuff you already have or your current provider already has on file. Just think of it like packing for a trip. A little prep up front saves you a lot of headaches later. It breaks down into 5 categories. Business information. Your legal name, address, federal EIN, and entity type like LLC or S Corp. Banking details, account and routing numbers for direct deposit and tax payments. Employee data, names, addresses, social security numbers, pay rates, pay types, and withholding info. Payroll history, your year-to-date wage and tax reports plus pay stubs or summaries for the current year. Tax records, your state and federal tax account IDs, plus your most recent quarter filings. I know that sounds like a lot, but don't worry, your new provider should help you find this stuff. Once you've gathered your information, you're ready to walk through the actual switch. Here's what that looks like in 5 steps. This is where you do your homework. Look for clear, fixed pricing, no surprise fees buried in invoices. You want real human support, not just a chatbot when something goes wrong. Full tax filing services, so they're handling your federal, state, and local taxes for you. Strong integrations with your accounting and timekeeping. And ideally, experience working with businesses similar to yours. The big providers like ADP and Paychex may work for you, but I want to share what makes our approach a little different at TMA. Payroll isn't a separate thing we hand off to another company. It sits under the same roof as your accounting and tax services run by one team that knows your business. So, when you switch to us, you're not just changing payroll providers. You're getting help with accounting, payroll, and taxes, all for one fixed monthly fee. No hourly surprises, no playing telephone between 3 different vendors, and no guessing about who's handling what. If you want to chat with us about it, just click the Let's Chat button on our website. You can also get a free estimate to see how much it might cost to work with us. Okay, so once you've picked a provider, you'll review and sign a service agreement. That will spell out the scope and pricing and the responsibilities on both parties' sides. Most providers also charge a one-time implementation fee to cover the setup and the data migration. That's normal. This is also when you hand over all the documents we just talked about. This is where your new provider gets to work in the background, importing your employees, setting up direct deposit, configuring tax payments, pay schedules, deductions, benefits, and giving you and your team access to the portal. A good provider will walk you through it on a training call so you're not trying to figure out a new system on your own. Once everything's filled out, you'll process your first payroll on the new system. Take your time on this one. Review the reports, pay rates, deductions, withholdings. Make sure everything ties out before any money moves. A really good provider will run a dry run or test payroll first, a fake run with no actual deposits, just to confirm everything's correct. If yours doesn't offer that, ask for it. Catching a wrong pay rate or a missed deduction in a test run is way easier than fixing it after paychecks have already gone out. Once your first payroll has gone out cleanly on the new system, wrap things up with the old provider. Request a full copy of your payroll and tax history. You want everything in your records, and confirm in writing whether they're handling that final payroll run and any remaining tax filings, or whether your new provider is. Time this carefully so it doesn't collide with an upcoming payroll cycle. And don't skip this step. If you do, you can end up with both providers trying to file the same quarterly tax return, and trust me, that is not a fun mess to clean up. Switching payroll providers doesn't have to be risky, but there are 4 mistakes I see business owners make over and over. So watch out for these. Number 1, not collecting full wage history. Your new provider needs prior earnings to keep your W-2s accurate and your filings consolidated. Number 2, forgetting to revoke access or cancel services. Once the transition is complete, remove your old provider's access to your bank account and your systems. Number 3, assuming every provider handles taxes the same way. Some don't actually file or pay taxes unless you check the right boxes during setup. Ask the detailed questions up front. Number 4, overlooking local taxes. This one's especially important here in Indiana. Local income taxes vary by county, and missing them leads to penalties that are no fun to clean up. Yes, I have seen all 4 of these in real life, but don't worry, a good provider is going to catch these so you don't have to. If this was a helpful video, please give us a like and subscribe to Small Business Playbook so you don't miss the next one. And if you missed my first video on whether and when to switch, that's linked below too. Switching payroll providers really doesn't have to be a heavy lift. With a clear process, the right team in your corner, it's one clean handoff. And then you get to stop worrying about it. You deserve a payroll experience that gives you confidence, not stress. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.